Welcome to TNT, baby, the naked truth with Taylor Armstrong, where I'm going to expose everything about my life, and my guests are going to come on, get naked with me, and bear it all. Now, let's get naked. So we're back with our resident psychic and medium, Jennifer Diamond. Thanks for being here, Jen.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and today I have two special guests, my dear, dear friends, Allie and Carrie, and they are actually two of the moms of the Hateful Eight that I talk about all the time, which of course, you know, I love those girls to death, but they'll always be my little Hateful Eight. So anyway, I wanted them to come and meet you because they both love the idea of getting a reading, and I wanted them to experience it firsthand here with us today. So I guess first and foremost, do you see anyone around them from your medium perspective?
First, let me say, so when I read for people, and I didn't realize this until probably recent, meaning like probably 8-10 years ago for me, I realized that I can pick up people that are not just past, but I can also pick up the energy as if I'm reading. For me, it doesn't matter if they're past or they're still here. It's just the message that's coming through. So a lot of times I can read something and I'm not telling you, oh, the person has passed on or not, but you'll be like, oh, that's my mother and she's still here. So I'm able to pick up the energy of whatever message is trying to come through for you. So I'm going to say this for you instantly. I do see a mother and she's still alive.
She is.
Yes. Because I see her chattering with you really quickly because I want to talk as quick as I can, because for me a lot of times information comes through. As soon as it comes through, I forget. With you, changes are obviously surrounding you right now. There's a possibility that you could move to a completely different area. So is that something you've been thinking about?
Potentially. Yeah. I mean, it's an opportunity because everyone's moved from me.
Okay. Because I do see that you probably are not going to be living where you're living right now.
Okay.
And so right now I'm picking up a lot of stress, a lot of unknown going on. So
that's true.
Okay. So that's the first thing I pick up with you. And I do see that because I do see you moving, but it's all going to be good. It's going to be positive. Leading up to that point, though, you're going to be like, there's going to be a lot of stress and a lot of, what's the word I use for this? So right now, you're going to continue to go through over the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months, a feeling of almost like I don't feel like I'm needed anymore. I don't know if that makes sense because we've never met. So your viewers know this, we've never met. So it's just what I'm picking up, but that's going to change because you're right in the middle of a new chapter. And so there's a lot of, questions to be answered. I don't know if you're single or not, but I do see you meeting somebody, and you are going to be, if you're in a relationship, I'm sorry, because it's going to be somebody that you're not with right now.
Okay.
So it's either you're going to be moving on from that, or if you're single, you are going to be with somebody completely new. And I don't know if you know him. There is one person that you know right now who there's an attraction there, but I think you're unaware of it. So I don't know if any of this is resonating with you, but it's what I see.
Okay.
I think that everything that you just said is interesting because all of our girls just went away to college. So we're all empty nesters now. Mm-hmm. So that facilitates change in and of itself. But some of the things you just said, and her son is gone as well.
Yeah. Just in since July, I've had a lot of those just gone, like out of state.
Okay. So that's where I'm getting, because sometimes I feel I can't pick and choose the information that comes to me. So I have to just tell you what I see. So that makes sense to me because I'm like, I feel bad saying this, but now I understand it. Because when your son was home, living at home, Do you have a daughter?
I have both. Yeah, son and daughter.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like the son always required just a little bit more from you of just simple things as a mother.
Right.
And, just like, I need you to do this or wash this, or I need you to, like, a lot of, how boys are.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me why I was seeing the feeling of, there's a sense of sad loneliness. Like, I'm not needed as much. Now I get it. Because I'm like, what does that mean? And a lot of times I don't, I don't know what I'm reading. So I just give the message.
But that's true. Like, it is sad, but they're doing so well. So it's hard to be sad about it because they're thriving. And he was in college in California and just moved. So he's doing his senior year away at the same time my daughter moved out of state to go to college. So they did it within 3 weeks of each other, where I thought at least one would be in California, but they both took off. So, but good.
Okay.
But it's
because I see a 3, 6, 18 month, which what I'm picking up is that in 3 months, you're going to get a little better. In 6 months, you're going to start to really catch your breath. In 18 months, I completely see you in a different position, living in a different place, in a relationship, and really coming into your own as far as what your new chapter looks like, visiting the kids at college when they come home, all that stuff it'll be like where the dust has settled. It's all going to be positive. So I don't see anything negative.
Too bad.
It's just right now you feel stress. It's just like a little stress, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's all going to be good.
Do you see anything for her with work?
Well, that's probably why I see so many different changes. So I'm assuming that is one of them, because how you are right now is not at all how I see you in 6 months, but definitely 18 months from now.
Okay.
And so if career is something you're wondering about, I also don't think you will be doing the same thing you're doing now. I see you doing something completely different, even like a different job title or a different line of work or something to that degree.
Okay.
That's a lot of changes.
Lots
of changes.
Like everything, where you live, your work, your kids, your love life. It's pretty much everything there is.
Yeah. So
but really positive changes.
Yes.
I think.
No, it's all positive.
Yeah.
It's just right now, it's like
It's just
wrapping your head around, it's sad. I know I have a daughter that's going to be heading off to college in less than a year, and I'm sad. I've been sad for the last 6 months. You think I'm crazy? I don't know. I'm like building myself up for it because I've, done all this on my own for almost 17 years. So it's good though.
It's good. It's sad with the change because
Yes.
it did. Like I could come here today. No one. I didn't have to pick anyone up from school. No one's waiting for me to make dinner. It's weird.
It is weird,
but it's good. And since they're happy, that makes that weirdness something to like, I feel like I can handle, but it is like sad and lonely.
Yeah, you're going to have you'll have a few different like, wow, that's weird. Like I just, went in this place and met this woman and now we're having coffee together and I met a new friend. Or, you meet a gentleman in a place that you normally would have never gone to. There's going to be a lot of different little synchronicities. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Let me point that out. Everybody comes into our life for a reason, whether it's for a short period of time or for a lifetime, right? So I see a lot of those things happening, but it's going to be exciting. Right now, it's just you're in the
trenches.
Yeah. But it's good. And you're holding together. So you're holding together pretty good. But just make yourself more busy with your girlfriends. Go out more than you normally would.
Just hang out with me.
I was going to say,
right.
We'll all just start going out more. Lord knows I'm out. But I think it's exciting. I mean, to think about all the changes that are possible as opposed to thinking like, I'm going through so much, just thinking that every door and window is open right now for all the
Right.
possibilities ahead of you. That's exciting.
Yeah, a lot of
Scary.
things on those.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But it's almost
exciting.
like everything has cleared out to enable all this change.
Right.
for
Yes,
you.
Right.
that's a great way to look at it. Yeah, I love it. So, and Jennifer and I have known each other forever. I
Long
feel like
time.
I actually was there when I helped to deliver her baby, who was getting ready to go away to
Yes.
college. So she's been like
Crazy.
suffering a little through Kennedy, my daughter, going to college.
Right.
And she's like, wait, you're dropping her off today. And I can feel like her energy is worrying now. You got a whole year to worry about it, but
Not
it's all a
really.
positive thing. It's a good thing for the
Like,
kiddos.
May is not a year away.
I
She
know.
graduates in May, so
No.
it's gonna be.
I feel like she's been more teary about Kennedy going away to college than I have in
I
anticipation.
have been.
Well,
yeah.
we're all
The
living through it. but-
anticipation
Oh, see, I
is
didn't know
almost
that.
the
Okay,
worst
so you
part.
ladies get it.
versus,
Yes.
yeah.
It was, I'd say the anticipation of it was almost worse than the drop
Yeah.
off. That anxiety, that buildup was like, and it was great. It was a good experience. I stayed longer than I did with my son. So I stayed like 4 or 5 days, and that helped her and I together. And so I think that once I left her,
Yes.
like we were just saying, like all three of us were just saying, not that we don't miss them, but we thought it was going to feel different. But like they're calling us, and it's better than I had anticipated. My anticipation prior to that, I thought I was just going to be like in a ball on the floor, just
Right.
not functioning. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like I miss her terribly,
You're okay.
but
You're gonna be great.
Yeah, it definitely, I would say, as we've discussed, like leading up to it, every single thing during their senior year is so heavy and so hard. And then leading up to college and like counting the days down until they leave. But literally, I'm similar
better.
when I dropped her off and I got a call, oh, we're going to dinner, we're going to this, we're going to that. It's like the weight of everything just kind of drops off. I know it's not like that for every single person or every child that goes to college. However, I think the buildup all year was far worse than the actual thing. And now just kind of go day to day. And again, having girls, I mean, she calls all the time. So
I feel like I talk to Kennedy more now. We were all just
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah,
I
that
told
earlier.
you that was gonna happen.
I know you do.
I did, right?
I always
You're
thought
like,
you're
no,
right.
that's not gonna happen.
Well,
Literally.
I thought the day I finally drove away, I was going to just, like you said, be a
Yeah.
mess and cry. And I drove back from Tucson because I had to drive all our stuff there. So it was 7 hours of me in the
Right.
car. And I thought, I'm just going to cry the whole entire time.
Right.
yes.
And then I dropped her off to two of their friends. I
Right.
dropped off to Audrey and Jackie, and they were all going out. And I just
Yes.
thought, this is a great thing. And it made me feel
Exactly.
really joyful for her, for
Mhm.
her new beginning. And now
Right.
you're going to have a new beginning.
yeah.
That's exciting.
That is very exciting.
And they're all having new beginnings, and your daughter's going to have a new beginning.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
I'll be there. I'll hold your hand through the whole thing. I'll drive you.
Yes.
I'll drive her to Florida with you.
Okay, so now we move on. We move on to you because yours was very different than what I see for you. So yours, what I keep picking up is family. It's all about family, and your mother comes through. I don't know what the dynamics is with the relationship with you and your mother, but does she tend to give you her opinion a lot?
She does. I mean, and
Sometimes
again,
unwarranted.
yes. Well, not to get too deep into our background, but my mom had a stroke when she was 49, and she's on her own. And my sister is actually now out of the picture. So
The
I
weight.
am the sole caretaker / friend / daughter / family for my mom.
Got it.
And she's getting older, but she also has the effects of her stroke. So
Sure.
she calls a great deal. And I love her. We have a great
Of course.
relationship. But
So
I'm
here's-
also
yeah.
mom to my kids and almost mom
Yeah, so
to
it's a
my
lot
mom.
because instantly I picked up from when I first saw you was mother coming through right away.
Mhm.
And that was again why I explained in the beginning that I read regardless of if they're past or not,
Right.
I can pick up the person's energy. What is missing for you is that the whole family every day goes about their life, and you are the manager, the boss, you're taking care of everything, and underappreciated. And nobody realizes to the degree of exactly what you're doing. Your husband included. But in fairness to him, he's working. It's not that he's one of these guys that's sitting home not
Right.
doing anything. He's busy. He's working. The kids are in school. Now they're off to college. So there's a lot going on for you. Your mother, so there's a bit of her that lives vicariously through you that probably might not make sense to you. I don't know if it does or not. She is appreciative towards you for what you've done for her and what you continue to do, but she doesn't really voice that to you. There's a lot of missing thank yous going on there. And so you're only going to be able to take this for a little bit longer before you need to put your foot down and take some time for yourself, whether it's go away with your girlfriends or maybe your husband, but you have to trip up the daily routine and do something different. And also, you said your sister's kind of not in the picture. She's going to be back, but only at a time that's convenient for her.
You don't want her back.
She's going to come back, and unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of you're going to have see there being like financial issues with her coming. It's her and financial. She's going to come back wanting something financially, if that makes sense. I don't know where that's. But
Yes, and again, this is a different show, different time, but she's taken a lot of money from my family, including my mom.
and she thinks that she had the right to it.
Yes.
But there's going to be
Absolutely.
more coming, which she's not going to get. That's all as far as that goes.
Right.
Whether she ran the well dry or not, is the point is she's going to come back, but it's not going to matter. And I think don't be surprised at some point, and I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about years
Right.
down the road, if you two mend the fence. And I know it sounds odd, but I do see that happening, but I don't see it happening for a long time. But I do see it happening. There's a lot of, she's going to come to a point in her life once your mother's gone where she's going to have a lot of regret for actions and stuff. But that stuff
can
is
see
hard to
that.
see when you're in the thick of it.
I can see that. And I actually have dreams sometimes where we've come back together, but it's in my dream. And then I wake up and I
No, it's going to,
remember
it
everything.
will definitely happen. That's what I'm saying. Like what I see for you and what I see for you are totally different, like
Right.
stories. Cause people say, well, you can say that to anybody. I'm like, no, I can't. I
Right.
couldn't tell you what I saw for her because it doesn't apply at all. So
Exactly.
just putting that out there. But
Well, and you and I have been to a lot of psychics. We used to go to a lot, and sometimes the readings would be so generic that it's like, well, you could
because
say,
I was
you know,
always so
you've been
fascinated.
through some things in your life. It's
Right.
like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Who
so is
got
everyone
it?
else
Right.
in the world. So things are very specific that come to you, Jennifer. It's kind of crazy, but so I think maybe for you,
Yeah, it was
just
like I had a
thinking
lot
about,
of problems, and some of them actually happened. Isn't that like Mark Twain or something?
Yeah.
It's like a funny saying.
Yeah. But I think like, so preparing with what the no looks like when your sister
Right.
does come back around and thinking about how you would navigate the no.
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to put that out there because what happens is, and I read for so many people that have a lot of underlying anger, resentment, fear, frustration, but a lot of
Right.
anger. And a lot of people hold on to resentment or hatred towards family members or exes, ex-husbands, ex-wives. But the reason I wanted to put that out there for you, because it's going to plant the seed. It's always going to be in the back of your mind.
Right.
and you're going to know that at some point you two are going to reconcile, and it will be at a point where she's going to be the one really that is going to do 75-80% of the I'm sorry.
Right.
You know, because
I
we
can
all
see
play a
that.
role to some degree, whether we think we do or not. We all play a role in that. Yeah, so that is a good thing. And I see your son is going to be very successful.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like he's got a great personality.
He does.
I don't know what he's going for, but I do see like in business, he's going to be more of running the show. He's not going to be somebody that's like, if he works for a company or something out of college, that could happen. But later on, he's really going to run the show. When is his birthday?
March 10th.
Oh, he's a Pisces.
Yes.
He moves around a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does.
Pisces is a good sign. Sweet. So I wanted to ask you guys, your sign is?
I'm a Leo.
Leo's good. And
Scorpio.
Scorpio's good. Okay, so I always said with Scorpio, how can I say this? So with Scorpio male and female, to me, when I read for them, a lot of times they tend to be very different. Scorpio males are family oriented, tend to not want to date a lot, or they tend to be married. They're family men. Scorpio women, they can hold a grudge. And they can, 20 years can go by and you thought everything was forgotten. You two are best friends and 20 years goes by and, that time when I got a flat tire and you didn't pick me up, like she never forgot about it.
Right.
So it's like, but two of my really good friends are Scorpios and their birthdays are the same day, the 14th of November. November 3rd. Yeah. So but I tend to get along with all signs. But yeah, so it's all good. So,
But Leo women.
Oh, Leo women. So Leos like to be the center of attention. If they're not the center of attention, then they're right on the sidelines. With a Leo, they either are really good looking or really smart, have that endearing personality. They either have one, the other, or both. But I love Leo. So I'm an Aquarian, and the opposite side of Leo is Aquarius. So in business and marriage, it's like a teeter-totter. You tend to keep each other balanced.
I just want to clarify, I have smart and attractiveness.
Yes, 100%.
That's why I pointed both of those out. That's why I pointed both of those
Exactly.
Yeah,
But also
I love
Leo
Leos.
women like to spend money.
They love to spend money. They can be sharp with their tongue. They, like to run the show, but they're also very thoughtful. And, you could get a birthday present from a Leo and you're like, oh my God, thank you. Like it was very thoughtful and a giving, gift. I love Leos. I have quite a few.
My mom's a Leo.
friends. I love Marla Maples.
I know you do.
Yes.
We
Love
love Marla
me.
Maples. Is
Aw.
supposed to
Her
be
mother's so
We had
sweet.
lunch with her
We love
yesterday.
coloring.
My
So
mom.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Mimi.
But
Oh,
And-
yes. I think hers is right around mine.
July 27th.
Okay. I'm 29.
Yes.
July.
So we have to check back in with them in a few months and see how things have changed.
check
Yeah.
back
Have you
in.
back on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hang in there with your mother because it's tough with being a caregiver for somebody, whether it's on a small level or a big level. It's difficult and you definitely feel underappreciated, but that is going to clear up. But what you need to do is you need to voice that because nobody's aware, and especially your husband. What happens a lot of times with men, businessmen, sometimes we have to point out the obvious. It doesn't make them bad people.
Right.
Just, they're busy working, providing for the family. So sometimes they need to be told, like, here's how it
Look at
is,
all the things.
which is what you have to do
Right.
for now to make things lighten up for you, where you can take a breath. Yeah.
So you can read for them because you're not close to them, but
Yes.
you and I have known each other for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
And we know each other very well.
Yes.
Is it harder for you to look at things for me?
No.
I'm scared. Don't say anything.
No, I don't.
You know too much.
No, I don't.
You know all the secrets.
Yeah, no.
I just wonder if
it used
people
to
are
be.
close to you, though. Is it
used to
harder?
be. The less information I know about somebody, the more I get, the messages come through. A lot of times I do see people on the other side. I always hear, what they're telling me. And sometimes they'll get signs and symbols, stuff like that. But so I always hear, and oftentimes I see, but I don't always see people on the other side. I think too, because for me, it tires me out.
Right.
If I'm doing like a full day of readings, I'm tired.
We talked about this because I have a lot of people approach me that have had domestic violence experiences and they want to share their stories with me. And of course, I want to listen and to be a sounding board, but also to be empathetic. But if I spend like a whole day at a shelter, if I'm doing a speaking engagement and then I'm with women all day long, I feel emotionally and physically just drained. And I think that about you too, if you've done a lot of readings, because you really empathize and you feel physically tired. But you don't sleep, so that doesn't really help.
When I read for the other day, when I read for those 3 gentlemen, because 2 of them I read for 15, 20 minutes each. They were like, well, just a short reading, but it was like, at least 15, 20 minutes for the first 2. By the time I was done reading for the 3rd gentleman, I mean, it was a lot because I had so much information that came through for them business wise. So to relay the information properly, sometimes it takes work because I have to relay the message in a way that you people would understand. It's interesting the way I get the information. It's like the person just gives it to me. So I just have the information and now I have to figure out how do I relay it in a way that you'll understand.
Do you feel like it's more tiring? Do you feel like it's more tiring when you have somebody that's coming from the other side versus just reading for somebody about their career and their life here on Earth?
Yes. Yes. Because yours came just what I saw. Yours, I'm really like your mother has a lot to say. So I have to talk to you at the same time I'm listening or looking at her. That's why a lot of times I'm looking up.
I noticed that you were doing that when you were talking to her.
Yeah, because I have to, it's how I'm able to hear or see as I'm giving the message. And too, because a lot of times it comes through me. So I don't remember. I've given thousands and literally thousands of readings. I don't remember 99% of them.
How do you, like, if you're in a grocery store, I mean, you're walking down the fruit aisle, like, does this come to you and this come to you, or how?
I learned how to turn the volume down. But a lot of times too, when I'm out in public, I have headphones on and I'm listening to music so that I'm just focusing on that. Or a lot of times I'm listening to YouTube on my headphones and I'm listening to stuff when I'm out because then I'm just focused on that.
Right. So you see it and hear it is what you're saying.
I see, I hear, and a lot of times messages will come through, which is how a lot of people that don't have a psychic or medium gift, comes through as like coincidences. Like, oh my God, I just found a dime on the ground and I just found another one. Yesterday I found 3 in a row. It's not a coincidence. It's the universe's way of showing you, like, pay attention. We're trying to get your attention here.
Well, intuition is a little bit of psychic ability, don't you think? I mean, when I've made decisions in my life where I haven't followed my gut and I let my brain or my heart take over, I always regret it. Just that feeling inside, like, I know this isn't right for me. Like right before I walked down the aisle when I got married the first time, I literally was putting my wedding dress thinking this is a terrible idea. And then we all know it ended up being a really terrible idea. But I felt it in my stomach more than even in my heart or my head. I know. So I think we each have a little of that in our own worlds, not for other people. Like you have the ability to talk about other people's lives, but I think we listen to our own psychic abilities about ourselves more often would be a really good thing, as opposed to following our heart or our head.
People brush it off and underplay it, or I'm just telling myself that. But I always give the advice that you need to listen to that. It's the one thing I tell my daughter all the time is you have to pay attention to that inner voice, because I'm not always going to be there. Like, you guys have kids, and that's the best piece of advice that you can give them when they're off to college, when they're not around you, is to listen to that inner voice, because it doesn't lead us astray. We just don't always want to listen to it.
Yeah, like run right past the red flags.
Yeah.
Right.
And how would you, I mean, I know this isn't directly related, but how do we teach the girls what to listen to that's intuition versus what they are thinking and telling themselves? Is there a difference?
It's like that little voice inside your head. It's that gut feeling that you have. I mean, we all have that sense of knowing right from wrong. It just starts at that. But as you grow and you get older and you're out in society, especially now with social media, cell phones, all that, it's hard to turn the volume down and tune that stuff out, so most people just get up, wake up, and go on autopilot. They don't spend the first 5 minutes of the day meditating, or just, even if you don't meditate, just like a quiet couple minutes to like catch your breath without getting on your phone or checking your emails or having noise, because you'd be so surprised what comes in during silence.
Well, I think you and I were talking about the other day, just to wake up and list 5 things that you're thankful for, to start your day out with gratitude, as opposed to just waking up going, I have too many emails, I have to get to work, I have to do this, just getting yourself all crazy like I tend to do, and just revving myself up.
The most underrated, underused prayer that you can do is thank you. Even if you wake up and just say that every morning, you're going to see over a short period of time, whether it's a day, a week, a month, if you do that every day, you're going to see a huge shift in your life, start to move in a little bit different direction.
Well, I think for you, Carrie, it would be waking up and saying thank you for all these exciting changes that are about to happen in my life, and just put it out there that all these changes are going to be awesome and happy and great. And I'm excited for you. I'm like a little chill over here. I'm like, wait, I want a bunch of changes. No, I don't know. I take that back. I don't know if I want too many changes. But I think waking up and saying, I'm so excited for what's ahead of me, for all of us, to just be like, I'm excited for all the positive things that are about to happen in my life, and this new move, and a new person in my life, and just being thankful for all the great things that we already have with our girls and everything, but also being excited, as we talked about, for them. Like, I'm so thankful 100%. Today that Kennedy's so happy at college. I actually, I texted her and I said, are you happy? And she said, super. Which, Kennedy's a girl of very few words, but it was a great answer, because I've never heard her say something like that.
I actually texted her the other day, and they had posted her picture with her new sorority. And I was like, yay, I'm so excited for you. And like, she was like saying back to me how happy she was. And she's like, I miss you. I'm like, yeah, Thanksgiving's going to be great when you all come back.
I know.
It'll be great to see them all together. And she was nervous, she said, because she was really tight with our friends. She told me personally, she was really nervous about making new friends, and that this friend group, and I think they all felt that way, but Kennedy voiced it to me. But she said, I was really, I don't want to make new friends. I'm very happy with this group.
Yes.
And then she's doing it, and it's not as bad as she had anticipated. And she's doing a really good job. So I think that anxiety for her was a lot, nervous, like her face, like she wasn't smiling. She was like actually nervous and scared, and she's doing great. So it's been kind of fun checking in with her.
It's cute. That. We talked about it. Actually, I talked about it on the show the other day about, I wasn't nearly as upset about Kennedy going away as I was watching all of our big girl group disband. And so we have to Zoom call the girls and talk to all of them. But it was great because 3 of the Hateful 8 went to one school, 3 went to another, but then one of them went far, far away.
Mine went far away by herself. But it was her choice. She had the choice to go to any one of those, but she decided to do it. And they still talk. They have their little text message, their little text group, Fuego. They still do it all day long. So
Nice.
it's still there. Like they are still a support group. So they're learning that next phase of life, that it doesn't just because they're doing their own things, they still have each other.
Yes.
So I think that was kind of a nervous.
And they speak individually, they speak together.
As much as we criticize social media, I actually think it will hold them together
100%.
better because
Yes.
like we've had friends that we haven't seen in 20 years or whatever that have reconnected on Facebook after all of
Yes.
that evolved. But
And
for
they
our
will.
girls, they'll just, they've
And
got
they just
their
FaceTime
TikTok,
each
Snapchat,
other,
their
yeah.
FaceTime. They have so much technology to keep them together despite the downfalls of social media, but yeah, they're doing it. So, and you guys don't know this, but Jennifer's daughter, I don't know if you do know, went to Stagecoach with all our girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She met all the girls.
She
Okay,
met them.
And she liked them. She was nervous because
She was nervous.
a
I
year
mean,
younger. They were all
intimidating.
sweet
I mean,
and nice.
but stepping into that tight knit friend
Yes.
group for someone who doesn't know any, well, she's known Kennedy since they were born, but no, she had a great time with our girls.
Oh,
So
that's
Yeah, it was
great.
fun.
yeah. All right. Well, let's check in. Let's do a, like, what do you think? 3 month, 6 month
Yeah.
check in
Sure.
and see what things
Awesome.
have changed. I'm excited. And
Thank
let's all go listen to Anesha.
Yes. Yes. She's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you
Sounds
guys
good.
for coming today. And Jen, thank you for coming
Thank you.
back.
Thank you as
Thank
always.
you.
Thanks for having me.